Wid, were you really a big John Cougar Mellencamp fan?
John Cougar Mellencamp? What do you think I am, a cheese ball? Come on, John. I have better taste in music like that. John Cougar Mellencamp. John Cougar! All right. Hey everybody, this is Legendary Wid. I'm here in my storage space doing self-archeology. Yes, I've collected all this stuff over the years, haven't looked at it yet a long time, and now we're looking at it. And one of the specific things I love about albums, okay? I have more albums than Zsa Zsa Gabor, the wedding album. But ladies and gentlemen, I love that they actually got a paper sleeve inside of the record. Okay, this was to not cause breakage. When they had 78 records, they used to break all the time because they were very and they would charge the artists money for broken records, and this kept on a lot of people's contracts for a long time about broken records. And so when the 33 1/3 came along, this was the solution to stop it. A piece of paper like that. And here's one from Decca Records, and these are all jazz guys right over here. A lot of them, you'll never hear of. This is inside. Over here, Jolson, Benny Goodman. They're all on Decca. Decca's a very old sort of thing. What did this guy have? Bright Lights and Country Music by Ricky Nelson. Born in New Jersey, Ricky Nelson. Born in Tenafly, I think. Right over here, here's Caution, okay? They gave you little cautionary tales right here. This is Capitol Records. You can tell Nat King Cole's on it. And of course, Frank Sinatra. This is before he went over to his own Reprise. And right over there, Bobby Darin on the same record label. All right. And Al Martino, sound-alikes. But here's Verve Records. Verve Records were, they were big jazz time guys, all right? Not like those jazz cigarettes that people are talking about now. But Stan Getz, right over here, the guy who wrote played Girl from Ipanema. I saw him at Radio City Music Hall. He had a cape on and he was great. And then Ex-Miss America was singing that. Who's this? Jerry Mulligan. He's more West Coast sort of stuff. You have to be a real jazz head. I'm not, I like jazz, but it's not. Jimmy Smith, Philadelphia's own Jimmy Smith, the virtuoso of organ, Walk on the Wild Side. If you listen to anybody, listen to Jimmy Smith. He found it because he worked in a warehouse and there was an organ that nobody came to pick up because they were so big, and he became the virtuoso with the Leslie filter and everything. We saw him right downtown at the Hershey Hotel, right across from the Academy of Music, and he got so drunk that he couldn't do the second show. So, Di Stefano, the guy who does that from around here. Oscar Peterson from Canada, virtuoso on piano. Count Basie from New Jersey, yes. Okay, they actually have a Count Basie theater in Red Bank, New Jersey. So, wow, we really represent when it comes to this. Who else is here? Ella. Okay, we can't say enough about Ella. And the people I don't know, and there he is. Okay. How about, going from jazz to, country and western. You lost your dog, or your wife went off with your banjo or something. Here's Decca. And Decca was at one time jazz, but it went over to hillbilly music, and which became country, and available on 8-track cassettes. And this is a time when 8-tracks and cassettes were at the same thing. And here's your people singing, and Land of the Giants. Remember Land of the Giants? That's sort of a rip-off of their logo. All the greats are here. Conway Twitty, Jack Green, Bill Anderson, but here Ernest Tubb, Conway Twitty again, Okay, so good they mentioned Bill Monroe. Okay. But the country, I love country and Western, George Jones and Tammy Wynette. I know. It's the middle of the road there. Who's on there? Whoa! RCA Victor, Red Seal. That's was one of the first, the Red Seal. That was Enrico Caruso was on that. And also David Bowie. Okay, David Bowie, right here in Philadelphia. He wrote Young Americans at the Barclay Hotel when he was at Sigma Sound. And here he is, right on RCA Victor, along with Eugene Ormandy. Okay, and all the big one. James Garraway. You guys say you guys like James Garraway. Let's see who else is here. 8 ways to enjoy your music now. There's 8-track cassettes. It's big on that here too, and it talks about how you should use a 8-track cassette and all the different ones that you had to choose from, all the different technologies at the same time. Harry Belafonte, he's on RCA Victor, same as Elvis, and coming around. But what got here's Monument, okay? Monument Records, their favorite artist, of course, Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison must have sold 1 billion records for Monument. Anybody else's name on there? No, Rusty Dapper, okay? Hip Boots, okay? Our man from the Boots Randolph, he was on Monument. Look, Yakety Sax, right there. The only Benny Hill's theme. And it wouldn't be possible without this. Look at how Warner Brothers, they just have the shield right over there. All right, Warner Brothers Records, I don't know how long they went. MGM Records, MGM Records, the same as the studio here. You can see it has the Wizard of Oz and Connie Francis. Connie Francis must have been on everyone, but she worked in movies with MGM too. Here's United Artists, okay? They have the Beatles on there. How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. That's a great one. Rudy Valley's in that movie. But here's Meet the Beatles. Do they have any more? Goldfinger. Goldfinger. All right. United Artists, started by Charlie Chaplin, D.W. Griffith, and 2 others. But here's, I just want to enjoy that. They give you a thing. They're talking about stereo now. Okay. The full dimensional stereo, you can remember that old thing. But the most intriguing is the one right. Where did it go? Oh, the one right here. I was going to show you in the beginning. These people, the RCA Victor record you are holding, Dynaflex record, is thinner than other records you have ever owned. It is superior to it I've ever owned, and it feels. It's much less, so they're bragging about the way that they're wrapping it in a piece of paper. Some people just like to squeeze as much publicity as they can out of their product. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a fun time looking at the record sleeves right there. Let's look at some more stuff when the Legendary Wid Self Archeology.